Alright, let's do this. I've done way too many takes in this video, but we're gonna do it this time here. I just want to do a quick video. I want to talk about a couple abilities that I see played wrong quite often in 40k still in this edition. I want to do a video about like really commonly misplayed rules in 10th edition, but I feel like we're so far in the edition that not too many things are misplayed at this point. People have it pretty well down. I think it's got like a couple outliers here, and I think two of the biggest ones I run into is the Carnifexes Resilient Organism ability and the Rogaldorn's Ablative Plating ability. Both say once per battle, when an attack is allocated to this model, you change the damage characteristics of that attack to 0. Now, I've been told to use this ability after I fail a saving throw. I've been told to use this ability after the damage is rolled and pick which ability it is. I've been told both of those at various different shops across Texas when I've gone to other RTTs. I have seen this played this way on numerous battle reports, in videos, including on playing tabletop. But as far as I can tell, everyone's actually playing it wrong. Because the key thing is it's when an attack is allocated. Attacks are allocated after the wound roll, but before the saving throw. It is step 3 in the attack sequence. And I've even showed this to people that play like on professional teams and everything, and they didn't even know that this flowchart of the attack sequence existed. Because typically when you're looking up something for shooting, you go to the shooting section. When you're looking for something melee, you go to the melee section. You don't go to the attack sequence section most of the time because it's a generic sequence. If you go into the app, into the reference section, and the core rules, it's going to be under making attacks, and then the attack sequence is where you find this here. And it applies to both melee and range attacks. Now, I do think it is also commonly misplayed because the adept of the Omnisci ability, which I assumed when getting ready for this video was exactly the same, and I want to bring it up too. And then read it, and I was like, oh, this one specifically says when the saving throw is failed, that you can reduce the attack, the damage characteristic of the attack to 0. I also see people wait till you roll the damage on this one. That is also wrong. You need to do it before the damage is rolled. You do it after you fail the save. Because inflicting damage is a separate step after the saving throw. So you need to do it in the save after the right as the saving throw is failed in the saving throw step. But anyways, and that was once per battle round. That thing is really strong. I'm just saying, like, for 35 points, that ability is a steal. If you only have like one really big anti-tank gun that does like that crazy 10 plus damage or something, like, and you shoot it with this, they fail to save, and they're like, hey, negated it. Next battle round, do the same, negated it. Like, it's just so rough. I mean, a lot of the time now in the meta, because knights were such a big thing for a while, vehicles are still pretty prevalent, monsters are pretty prevalent, great demons are pretty prevalent. You do have a lot of anti-tank, anti-monster stuff typically. So if you have enough of it, this ability doesn't matter as much, but if you don't have a lot, this ability is really, really strong, to be honest. And same with the above abilities. I think a lot of people, if they realize, like, oh, you do this when the attack's allocated, it's allocated before the saving throw. I think this ability is a lot weaker than people are playing it, but it's still a really strong ability. You know, it's a 5-turn game. Ideally, you're not getting shot turn 1, unless you had a really great shot at them. So you're not being shot turn 1, ideally, but turn 2 and on, you could potentially be shot at because you're going to be wanting to put some fire down. You don't want to hide those big units that have these abilities that long. So them negating that first big hit that goes towards them is still amazing. Like, stopping 8 to 12 or more damage from a single attack is huge. I mean, it gives them like an extra turn or two to hang on the battlefield because you have time to hopefully get rid of that thing that's throwing that at you still. And I think the Rogadorn's a bit more common too than Tranifex. I mean, you might see 1 to 2 Tranifexes. Definitely not seeing 3, but you're probably at least usually seeing at least 2 Rogadorns for a lot of Imperial Guard players, I feel like, or Rogadorn Commander. Uh, but this is the turn I was talking about that's in the making attack section under the attack sequence. It's hit roll, wound roll, allocate the attack, then your saving throw, and then you inflict your damage. So the ability by the Tranifex and the Rogador needs to be used in step 3 in the allocate attack sequence. And the Space Marine's ability needs to be used in this 4th step, in the saving throw step, technically here. And you know, it's granted, often you see this chart, you know, like I said, a lot of people I've showed this to have never seen that or never realized like that was extra in there because it's not in the specifically in the shooting or the melee section for whatever reason. I don't know why they did it like that. But anyways, thank you for listening to me rant about this. If I am wrong somewhere, there's an FAQ or a rules commentary that says you do this otherwise, please tell me. But at this point, I feel like these would have been rewritten by now. and they haven't, you know, so I think we're pretty solid here. Some of the other things I was kind of thinking that people misplay a little bit at this point in the edition is putting positioning with ruins. When you have to be fully within the area of the ruins with your base to benefit from covering it, even so it has a clear sight to you because the wall's on the other side of you. If you're fully in that ruins, you get cover. Now speaking of cover, I think the one that gets commonly misunderstood too is if you have a 3+ or better save and you have the benefits of cover, you only actually get the benefits of cover if something is AP 1 or better. So it can't actually improve you to a 2+ in general, like against something that's AP 0. But anyways, thanks for listening to me. Thanks for popping by. I'm going to be doing some more of this here and get myself back in the swing of things. But y'all have a good one. Take care and go drink some coffee.